They say every village has a story it doesn't like to remember, a story whispered only when the night is quiet and guilt has nowhere to hide. So before this story begins, let me ask you something gently. If you have ever loved a child, if you have ever called a daughter your own, listen carefully, because this is not just a story, it is a wound, and if at any moment your heart feels heavy while listening, do not turn away. Stay with it till the end, and when it is over, remember to like, share, and subscribe, not for me, but so this story reaches someone who still has time to choose better. In the quiet village of Aduf, mornings always arrive the same way, with a tired rooster crowing into pale dawn, smoke rising slowly from cracked mud kitchens, and women stepping barefoot onto cold earth with buckets balanced on their heads. But there was a time when one sound always came before the rest, a small voice answering to the name Morayo, called by her mother, echoed by her grandmother, chased by children who knew her laughter better than their own shadows. Morayo was only 14 years old, but life had already taught her lessons meant for grown people. Her father had died when she was 7, not from sickness and not from war, but from hunger mixed with shame, a proud farmer whose land stopped yielding crops when the rains failed, whose deaths grew louder than his prayers, until one night he walked into the forest and never returned, and from that day, Morayo learned that sometimes fathers disappear and children are left to grow up overnight. Her mother worked until her back bent and her hands cracked, selling firewood, washing clothes that were not hers, carrying loads that made her wince, yet poverty still slept on their mat. Some nights Morayo lied and said she had eaten already so her younger brother could swallow one more spoon. Some mornings she fetched water before the sun rose and hurried to school with aching feet, because school was the only place where she felt light, where chalk dust felt like hope, where a teacher once looked at her exercise book and said her handwriting was beautiful and she would go far, words Morayo kept like a secret prayer pressed to her chest. But in villages like Aduf, dreams are fragile things, easily traded for food, and one evening a black car arrived raising dust and curiosity. Children chased it laughing, elders gathered, and inside it sat Chief Bamedil from the city, a man with gold on his fingers and authority in his voice, a man who did not come looking for love, only for a wife. And when his eyes settled on Morayo, something in the air broke. That night Morayo heard her mother crying, whispering that she did not want to do this but did not know how else to survive. The money offered could fix the roof, feed mouths, send the younger child to school. And Morayo sat quietly in the corner, learning that sometimes a child's silence is mistaken for consent.